Fly on
So, happy Spark. so, the best thing I would say is that the reason why there was no Spark for a month is because one, life happens and life sucks at times, so we couldn't do Spark. But yes, we could do Aftershock because we got some dedicated people that watch WWE, unfortunately. But so so this Spark episode is gonna be something special because one reasons why is because we're going to talk about the month, and we're not going to talk about it like match from match because it's like a month's worth of bullshit going on. So the first thing we gotta start with is the aftermath. Well, we gotta talk about World's End and the aftermath that causes this whole domino effect from AEW because there's a lot of shit that happened after World's End. So you want to get started with the World's End stuff and just what happened during that show before we talk about January.
Yeah, sure. Um, yeah, we'll talk about World's End. Again, we won't do this match for match either. One, because it's also been a month since we probably both watched this show, so, we're not going to remember match for match, but we'll just kind of, give a big scope of kind of what we thought generally of this show and everything like that. I will say, too, I did write a topic guide, which I will be using. I kind of, as you can probably tell, I kind of organized this topic guide for like the biggest things that were going on in AEW at the time and everything like that. So that's kind of how I organized this topic guide. You know, I did save one big thing for the end, just so that way we could have a big thing to end it off of. One thing I can't talk about too much because I haven't seen the segment yet. You're gonna probably have to mainly talk about it, and that's the item number 16. But other than that, everything else can,
Item number
go according to plan.
16, you did put like some weird ass the guy that I did not read for real.
Okay. So, you know, yeah, I'll just kind of give my general thoughts of World's End. Overall, I thought it was an enjoyable pay per view. I will say I thought it was one of the weaker AEW offerings. I thought it was still good, but I feel like I've seen better. But we'll get into that. I'll talk about the main highlight for me. Obviously, was the Continental Classic finals match, obviously, between Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston was the Blue League winner, and Jon Moxley was the Gold League winner. This told a great story because Eddie Kingston has never beaten Jon Moxley in professional wrestling, and Eddie Kingston at this point, in the Continental Classic, I know we covered some matches in the Continental Classic when we were doing Spark Weekly, but I don't think we covered like how Eddie Kingston had to basically come back from like a he had to basically win the last three matches pretty much, and he kind of had to hope for some luck to happen. Like I think Daniel Garcia beating Brody King, basically allowed him to kind of get into the finals, and then Jon Moxley, other than against Jay White, went winless, and obviously he had an interesting path to get here because he had to basically win a triple threat match because I don't remember. Again, it's been a month. I believe two people tied, so it caused a bunch of mess ups to happen. So overall, I thought this was really
Yeah. What happened
yeah.
is that like there was a three-way tie in
Yes.
in the A block, I believe. I don't really care what's it called, but yeah, it caused a three-way tie and it caused a triple threat to happen between I believe Jay White, Mox, then Swerve, and Mox won. But then on the
Yep.
other side, it caused um Eddie Kingston and Brian Danielson, and Eddie won. Then we got the finals at World's End.
Yeah, this match was great. I gave it I think I gave it like a perfect 5 stars. It told a great story. Um Obviously this is the first time these two have faced off since the pandemic hit pretty much because they fought obviously back in 2020. with the roles reversed this time. Even though Moxley is very, and the Blackpool Combat Club, sometimes the faces, sometimes the heels, Moxley was clearly the heel in this match, and Kingston was playing the babyface role because obviously it was in New York, and Eddie Kingston was the hometown boy, so they figured they were going to root for him. Yeah, it's just a really great back and forth match. It was very physical. Eddie Kingston ended up actually winning, obviously. And I marked out for this because I really wanted Eddie Kingston to become the Triple Crown, but I didn't think it was going to happen. But I'm happy, that they gave it to Eddie Kingston. He's really been a workhorse in 2023 and obviously early parts of the year. And he's showing that he could do more than just like promos and death matches and stuff. He's showing he can hang with the best of them. And,
Which one you talking about again?
Huh?
Which one you talking about again?
Eddie Kingston.
He doesn't really do death matches, you dumbass.
Oh, there you go.
That's John Moxley, you idiot.
Well, Moxley does that too.
What do you mean? He does it.
Yeah. But yeah, this was awesome. I was really happy that he got this moment. He cuts a really great promo. On like AEW social media pages and everything like that, which is just awesome. He didn't do the press conference afterwards / the media scrum because he said he wasn't into it and didn't want to do it, so he didn't do it.
Fair enough.
But yeah, overall, I loved the fact that Eddie Kingston got his moment at World's End. Overall, how did you feel about Eddie Kingston getting his moment and everything like that?
He could finally say he's a Triple Crown a champion. Well, I'm really happy for him. Because he's a pure wrestler, just like me. He loves me, like he loves him some good Japanese wrestling. He like his influence is from 90s All Japan, because at that time that's when wrestling was really going crazy. So I'm happy that he finally got his moment for real, and I'm happy he could actually call himself a Triple Crown champion with 3 fucking belts, just like in All Japan back then. We have 3 belts, which means you are the actual GOAT. You are the guy. So now Eddie can be like, yes, I am a Triple Crown champion, something I always wanted to be when I grew up, which is awesome. And I know his idol and who he looks up to, Toshiaki Kawada, is just happy. So yeah. He actually beat Mox and finished the story, unlike Cody Rhodes will ever do now.
Yeah, and then obviously the biggest thing that came out of World's End, that ended up being really talked about, was obviously the main event. MJF defended the AEW World Championship against Samoa Joe. And MJF was obviously working injured IOL because he tore his shoulder at Full Gear. And yeah, overall this was relatively good. I'm just making sure I didn't mute myself by mistake. I did not. But yeah, eventually they had Adam Cole in his corner. I believe he was there early on the night and said he was going to do this. And obviously, if you watch it back now, he ends up pretty much costing MJF the match because he takes a little too long to get the Dynamite Dozen win, which ends up backfiring him in the long run. And then Samoa Joe choked him out too. They did the spot where his hand went down 3 times, and typically when they do that spot, usually at like the third or the second time it goes down, when it's about to go down the third time, they do the spot where like he prevents it from happening and gets up. But no, it went down 3 times. The crowd was a little deflated when that happened. They weren't anticipating that to be the finish, as I was myself. I thought Samoa Joe was a fine choice to take the title off MJF. I thought it worked.
He is the choice, motherfucker. That's my
I would have preferred Swerve. I wanted Swerve to be the one to take the title off MJF.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, it's like you got to have some Samoan named Joe,
Yeah.
You got to have him be the absolute spoiler and the absolute dick.
But yeah, this worked really well. It got Samoa Joe a lot of great heat. it vindicated, because obviously I said, they have to do something big since he just vacated the ROH World Television title not that long ago. So I thought, they validated that really well. But then the big story that came out of it was, Better Than You Baby kind of looked at each other, and then the guys in the Devil's Mask came in. Not the main devil, but they were like his goons, pretty much, his minions, and they did a spot where, they acted like they were gonna attack one of them, but Adam Cole and MJF were trying to take a bullet for each other. But then the lights went out, and when they came back on, we saw Adam Cole was sitting down in a chair, and then he pulled out the Devil's Mask, and MJF was really heartbroken, obviously because he's been turned on by Adam Cole, and they beat him up. Wardlow powerbombed him because I forgot to mention this. After this, the people in the Devil's Mask revealed themselves, and it was Wardlow, and the Kingdom, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, and Roderick Strong. And yeah, obviously, I thought this all made sense. Adam Cole being the Devil really worked. It got him a really great amount of heat. It sucks though he still can't do anything because obviously he's still injured. Was he planned to be the Devil all along? I don't know, obviously, because, the first time we saw the Devil, I think he was planned to be the Devil all along, but I don't think he's always been the one that's actually been the Devil, because we've seen the Devil, like, walking around and everything like that, and obviously Adam Cole's on crutches. I assume just somebody else filled the role when we've seen all that type of stuff happen. But all the people that they put in place made sense. Obviously Wardlow hinting to it, where he mentioned, that he was going to make sure that MJF suffered and his world was going to crumble around him, and that's exactly what happened. He was a part of this. And I thought the Kingdom worked really well to be a part of this because, they were the ones that kept, saying that MJF was the Devil. And it's really cool, that they were part of this all along. And obviously this worked because of, the relationship that Adam Cole and Roderick Strong and, obviously Adam Cole and the Kingdom have with each other. So it worked. And, obviously we found out that, this is where we found out that the Kingdom were the ones that ended up winning the ROH World Tag titles because they had the ROH World Tag Team titles. And this was good. We obviously haven't seen MJF since World's End, which I think makes sense, obviously, because, one, he's injured, so he can't really do anything. And, it makes you root for him, really sells the loss. I imagine he's going to come back either at Revolution or he'll come back, just before Double or Nothing or something. Just because I think if they're going to do a rematch, they're probably going to do it at All in 2024 as like a callback because they main evented the first one. But yeah, we'll get into more how the Undisputed Kingdom have kind of come together. But overall, this one night, how did you feel like they did the double reveal and everything like that?
They did it. They did it all right. The one thing I will probably say is that the one thing I would probably say about it that is pretty interesting is the fact how they knew what they was doing, which is not bad, because it's like they teased it really good. That's one thing I would say. They really plus we did have some few speculations who the Devil could be. It could either be Jack Perry or it could either be somebody else. But they actually well Adam Cole was a good option for yes, he's on crutches and he can't walk. But that doesn't really matter because you can have a villain who is not okay. You can have a big heel not be a actual wrestler. For example, Don Callis and like 10 other people. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear nobody saying that why is he the leader if he can't be the walk or actually wrestle. You don't have to have the big leader or the massive heel be able to wrestle. Yes, Adam Cole did say that he wants the world title, and in the one way he could do it, it just have his big muscle win the title to actually give it to the one that never. You can have the big heel guy win the title for the main heel. You could do that. Yes, it's gonna make a Wardlow look like a bitch, but at the same time, that's nothing new. You want a good
Hmm.
example? Remember when Ted DiBiase won the world title by paying off the champion? Remember that shit? Yeah. I don't want to hear from anybody. I don't want to hear it from nobody. Not even you, Chris. I know you fucking watching, you dickhead. But but I don't want to hear it because the thing is that yes, I know Warlow, if he does win the title and give it to Adam Cole, I know it's gonna look bad, but at the same time, that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to make the villain look like, hey, look at me, I won the title without even having a scratch on me. I'm just that good. That's a heel thing.
Yep.
Who cares? So I am all in for the Undisputed Kingdom, and I hope they win all the gold. Tag team titles, the All Atlantic title, hell, the world title. I don't want the TNT title because that belt don't count in my opinion. But yeah,
Okay.
you can have them win all the titles to be the absolute menace because that's what they're supposed to do. This is the main, like, yes, they starting off in the mid card because that's how they had to work their way up. They gotta work getting all the belts. That's how you're supposed to do it. They ain't gonna be in the top for a while. Only reason why is because they have to work their way up to win the title. Warlow is over here doing the world a favor by killing Commander, but yeah, he has to work his way up. They're gonna be, just there. It's like I don't think they understand how faction. I swear, I hate wrestling fans. I don't think they understand how factions actually supposed to work. Yes, they could take over the whole fucking promotion, but you gotta understand one thing: when they trying to get all the belts, they're gonna start small. They're gonna start up from the bottom, which first was the Ring of Honor tag team titles. Eventually, they're gonna get the AEW ones, and then after that, they're gonna get the All Atlantic. Then after that, they might get the TNT. I hope not. Then after that, they're gonna get the big title. Want to know one example of a really dominating faction that didn't really get to the main event until like a few months later? Bullet Club. They have to, like, their first title they ever won was the junior heavyweight title by Prince Devitt.
Yeah.
And then after
I mean,
that,
also
hmm?
another example is the Shield. They didn't even go for the big titles. They went for the tag team
Yeah.
titles and the U.S. title.
Yeah. So they gotta understand that shit first, dog. Like, come on now. I hate wrestling fans. I really do because one, they're annoying as shit, and I hate them so much.
I also will say this too. I think obviously, if Adam Cole was fully healthy, I think they would be doing a lot more. But Adam Cole kind of being injured kind of stumps that. And also too, they don't have a top like baby face at the moment to feud with because
They don't
MJF
got
is
no top
gone.
baby face at all. That's the
Yeah. So
problem. It's like they got no top baby face. Who's the top baby face? Exactly. Shut the fuck up.
I was gonna say Heyman Page, but it
Hangman
did
ain't
take me a
shit,
second.
dog. Fuck him.
Um, but yeah, other things that happened at World's End. The next biggest thing was obviously the TNT title match. The no DQ match between Christian Cage and Adam Copeland. They went to war with each other. It was really great. It was fantastic. Um, Adam Copeland ended up beating Christian Cage after all the interference with Nick Wayne and everything like that. They did a callback to WrestleMania 22 where Adam Copeland speared Nick Wayne through the flaming table. And, they also did another great callback because he was wearing the same attire from WrestleMania 22. And then, all looked good. Adam Copeland finally won the TNT title. He finally took the one thing from...
Just call him Edge, dog. Just call him Edge, bro. And just make it easier on yourself. You don't have to call him by fucking different names. For example, you could just call whoever the fuck is Fabio. Just call him Giovanni Pinci, dog. Just come on now.
But anyhow, I'll do Copes. That's easy.
Just Edge, nigga.
Yeah, Edge. It looked like he had finally conquered Christian Cage, but that wasn't the case because earlier in the show, there was a battle royal to crown the number one contender to the TNT title, where they won a contract where they could cash it in anytime they wanted. Killswitch won the contract. He signed it over to he attacked Adam Copeland afterwards, laid him out, and then Christian Cage forced him to surrender the contract over to him pretty much. And, this is kind of where you see that Christian Cage still has something over Killswitch because he whispers something every time and it makes him relent. I was wondering how are they going to explain that he could just hand over the contract, but I thought AEW did a good job because, he ended up signing the contract afterwards. So it's like, it's not like, so it wasn't like it was anyone's contract. And Christian Cage just won the belt back immediately, too. Overall, I liked how they did this. I thought this was really good storytelling and everything like that. Obviously, it kind of sucks because, they gave this big win to Adam Copeland just to take it away from him. But I thought it kind of worked for the storyline and everything like that. I didn't mind it too much. Maybe if I was booking this, I would have had Copeland have a decent title reign, and then maybe like right before Revolution, you could have done this where Killswitch showed up and just laid him out, and since we're getting the Copes open and everything like that, but this still worked. This made it's made Christian Cage look like a dastardly heel, and it continues the tension between Killswitch and Christian Cage. So I thought it was awesome. What did you think of how they did everything with the TNT title picture at World's End?
The TNT title match was pretty fucking good, for real. But goddamn, they didn't know what the fuck they was doing. I find it hilarious. The only funny part of the match was the table spot because I was like, damn, he bumped off. But I'm gonna say this, and I don't know if you will believe me.
Okay.
That hurts like a motherfucker. Like, getting put through a table is not that bad. Getting put on the table and not breaking is the worst.
Yeah.
Cause yes, everybody wants the table to be broken. But I want you to understand this. If you try to go through a table and the table didn't break and you land hard, that shit hurts like a motherfucker. It's worse than getting put through a table.
Especially because I think, from what I remember it now, I don't think he just didn't go through the table, too. He, landed on the stage, he took a big bump onto the floor and everything like that, too.
Right on the fire, too, which is not only getting burnt, but you're getting hit, too. That's insane.
Yeah.
Dog. But, yeah. But the match was fucking good. The fucking joint where, where Christian won back the title was actually... I'll be real with you. I was mad, but it was pretty clever.
Yeah.
Ruin his day, bro. Just ruin his day. That's all you gotta do. You won the title? Yeah, fuck you.
Everything else, I'll just kind of talk about, because those are kind of the big headlines of World's End. Everything else, I'll just kind of say quickly. They had an all-star 8-man tag where it was basically everyone that had been in the Continental Classic just kind of had a match with each other.
Yeah, why not?
This was cool because Daniel Garcia ended up getting the win. I believe he got the win on Jay Lethal. And it was a good moment for Daniel Garcia. And, this is where they were kind of starting to do the feud between him and House of Black, so that was cool. Miro faced Andrade El Idolo. Miro won because CJ turned on Andrade. As we know, this ended up being Andrade's last match in AEW. He's back in WWE now at the time of recording this. And Obviously, it didn't make sense that CJ just went back with Miro, but obviously they had to do something because Andrade was leaving, so they did that. They haven't done anything with this storyline, I will say, since then. I didn't put it down because CJ is injured. She has like an injured finger. I'm not exactly sure what happened because I had the flu at the time this news was breaking, so I was just not really knowing what was going on. So, we haven't seen Miro or CJ since then, so this storyline's kind of stopped. But the match they had was good. It was a good final match for Andrade and Alita. Then we had the two women's matches on the show, at least on the main show, anyways. Toni Storm with Tana against Riho. That match was good, but I wasn't invested in it. Mainly because I knew Riho wasn't winning the belt, so it just kind of was like, oh, okay, let's just kind of get this over with. Then they had the TBS women's title match. It was Julia Hart defending against Abaddon. It was a house. What's it called? Is it House Rules or House of Black Rules? I forget exactly what it's called.
It's House Rules.
Basically, Abaddon picked that Biden was legal, which they didn't really play into at all. And then Julia Hart retained via Sky Blue interference. That match was pretty unexciting. I have to admit, it was very disappointing. I was kind of hoping that Abaddon was gonna pick some type of like death match or something, but they kind of went with like kind of a lame stipulation. It was a funny one, but it was kind of lame because then they didn't really play up to it at all or anything like that. So that's kind of whatever. On the buy-in, there were 3 matches. We had Statlander face Willow Nightingale. It's been so long since I've seen this match. I forgot who won, and it's pretty embarrassing because we just looked it up on Cage Match yesterday, but I already forget who won this match. So somebody won, somebody lost. So you know. And they had a return.
You wanna know who won? Huh? Okay. You said what match again?
It was Statlander versus Willow Nightingale. I don't think you're gonna find it because they don't put the buy-in matches on Cage Match.
They do.
Oh, they do. I just didn't see them. So
yeah, and the winner was Willow.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't have guessed that.
That guy's a bunch of losers, dog. I swear to God.
Yeah, we'll get into that storyline later on. They had a return vignette for Serena Deeb. That was the first one that they did. It was pretty cool. And then I already mentioned the Battle Royal. There's really nothing new to mention there. And then Hook retained the FTW in the FTW Rules match against Willie Yuta, which was really good. This was probably the worst FTW Rules match I've seen, just because they didn't really use the stipulation all that much, and there was only 10 minutes left of the buy-in from what I remember. So that was kind of
just
whatever.
See a death match, don't you, bro? You just want to see some action.
And then we had a couple more matches on World's End. We had the other 8-man tag, where it was Jericho, Guevara, Darby, and Stin versus Ricky Starks, Big Bill, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Kenoshi Takeshita.
Lol.
Obviously, this match I thought was very good. I wasn't too invested in it. Obviously, this is AEW having to kind of pivot because obviously they lost Kenny Omega, so they had to make a lot of changes. They had to put Sammy Guevara out of the Don Callis family because obviously, they had to change storylines, so you could kind of understand AEW was in a bad spot here. The biggest thing that came out of this was obviously Jericho's negative reaction that he gets because obviously there's some stuff that's been coming out about Chris Jericho recently that has been it seems like has been settled. The crowd seemed to have kind of forgotten it by now.
Nah, it's not that. It's not that actually. What happened is that so with the Jericho thing, it was proven false because it's only because the guy who actually reported it he came out saying it was all bullshit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm just trying to. I was gonna mention that, but I mentioned it, because at the time we didn't know that, so Jericho got probably the worst
that nigga
reaction.
Got fucking booed like a motherfucker. That shit was hilarious.
I don't think it's just that either. I think a lot of people are just, Jericho is getting kind of stale at the moment too, so I think a lot of people are just kind of sick of him taking a spot from everybody else.
It was more of the allegations than anything for real.
But yeah, the 8-man tag was good. And then the obviously the most disappointing thing on the show, but this one isn't on AEW, was Swerve Strickland versus Dustin Rhodes, because we're just not meant to get Swerve versus Keith Lee. It seems like every time AEW tries to do that match, somebody gets injured or they just have bad booking and don't do the match, because obviously they were going to finally do the match here. They did a big hype package for it and everything. Um, Even Keith Lee was just like, "Hey, Shane Taylor, I wasn't talking about you when I was going through this feud." And then he's like, "I was talking about Swerve." And then Keith Lee is injured now. He can't. They couldn't even do the match, so they had to have Swerve just face Dustin. And the match was pretty unexcited. Honestly, it was good that Swerve got to showcase his talents and everything like that. But you would have been better off just. And I don't think they wanted to leave Swerve off the show just because he was a big star. But you would have been better off just being like, hey, especially too because the AEW pay per views go so long now. They could just be like, hey, we could just not have this, but whatever. It was what it was. Everything else I just broke down at World's End. Anything else you want to say about that stuff?
What is there else to say for real? Other than the fact
Yeah, there you
that
go.
this wasn't really a bad show. It was pretty good. My only issue with it is the fact that like it's just it didn't need to happen.
Yeah.
Like now we get into the territory where it's like they get into the territory where it's like they trying to get like a lot of pay-per-views out there. But the only caveat with that is the fact it's gonna cost you a whole lot of bread. The thing
Yeah.
is when you produce pay-per-views, what you gotta do is make sure you break like just like movies, you got to break even.
Yeah.
Because like if you don't break even, then you're pretty much screwed. Then it's just a failure. Even though like
Especially.
even if it's like a pay-per-view, you have to break even. If you don't, then oh well, dog, you fuck. So
Especially too, because this pay per view didn't sell out like the venue and stuff either. It wasn't terrible numbers, but they weren't the numbers I don't think
it
AEW would have
didn't
wanted.
really sell out, which is the thing, because mostly people want to see the big four:
Yeah.
Revolution, Double or Nothing, All Out, and Full Gear. Yes, yes. You got what else they got? What was the other
All
joint?
in, I think All In's kind of included in that now. It's like a big five
Yeah,
now.
yeah, you got All In. I feel like what they should do with yeah with All In, what they should do is just make it like a worldly thing, like All In London, All In Canada, All In
Yeah, that'd be cool.
whatever. I think that'd be kind of dope, but it's whatever though for real. Other than that, good show. But can we cut it back now? You can have your Forbidden Door, which I don't really mind because it's best to at least get some sort of uh collab, which I am thinking we might get a a collab show with CMLL because they've been on the road lately. But yeah.
Right. I feel like too, doing this many pay per views now lessens like the special shows they do on AEW Dynamite, like Fighter Fest, Fight for the Fallen,
They need to
and
bring that back, dog.
yeah, and Winter is coming because I remember it lessens those shows a little bit too. Um, and then that's why AEW. I think we reported this at the time it was going on. Um, they lost a lot of money in 2023, and one of the reasons is because they ran more pay per views and just more shows last year. So I feel like
Yeah,
they need to kind
fucking
of relax
more.
on it. Also, the video game didn't help too, but that's a different story.
Oh, I will, man. I'm going to review the game one day, and I'm gonna be really honest. But okay, okay. So here's a teaser. The game wasn't okay. The game isn't bad. The
Yeah,
game's not bad. The issue comes with the game is there's not a lot of shit to actually do. The
right.
But if you get the game on PC, Jesus Christ, there's a lot of mods that is like insane. Somebody ported over the SmackDown Here Comes the Pain models into the game, which is
That's cool.
insane. They even imported the freaking. You can even. I'll talk about that later. But yeah,
Yeah, let's talk about what's going on AEW since World's End.
in
By the
January.
way, if you want to know my letter grade, by the way, for World's End, I think at the time I gave it like a solid B plus. The last two matches and like the Devil Reveal, I think, is really what made this show. And obviously the TNT title match, but everything else you could have just seen on Dynamite or Collision. Some of this Rampage, honestly. So, um, but yeah, let's kind of go through what's been going on in AEW because we had a lot of things happen. Um, Obviously, we'll kind of start with the biggest thing that happened out of all, not all in, World's End, which was what's happened, with the Devil storyline. The formation of it. You kind of talked about it a little bit, but you know, we had Adam Cole kind of give his explanation of why he was the devil and kind of how this plan started. He has new theme music now, which I think makes sense, obviously, because it gets him heated more. Because I don't think if you're a heel, you shouldn't have a theme song for the most part, where the crowd tends along to it, because that doesn't really do his job as a heel. So they changed his theme music now,
The
which
crowd's
is
still
pretty
good
good.
anyways with the boom.
Oh, yeah, because the crowd's just going to do what the crowd does, but so you have to. The attempt is there to try to make that happen,
I
but
don't think that's the intent. The reason why, okay, hear me out. I think the reason, okay,
Okay,
here's the thing. That's not the intent why they changed it. The actual intent why they changed it is pretty simple. The reason why, okay, hold on, let me raise my shit real quick. What the fuck? Um, the intent for changing the theme is basically to give it like a new vibe. That's the actual intent why they changed it. It's basically because this is a faction. This is a new thing. So that's why they changed the theme. It's not to, stop the crowd from, singing. It's more cuz it's a new it's a new faction, it's a new theme to fill in the vibe. That's all it basically is for
yeah, I agree with that also.
uh,
But yeah, they mentioned Adam Cole gave his explanation of where they started this making up these plans and everything like that. Basically, he said that MJF is a poison to AEW. He talked about all the
lol
unforgivable things that he's done in AEW.
lol
And then you mentioned, he was kind of upset with the fans that he's the one that, that is the bad guy out of this when
lol.
MJF has done all these things, but yet everyone loves him for it. And he's just revealing truths and everything like that. And, he mentioned, that everybody has like a vendetta against MJF, like, Roderick
Lol.
Strong with some of the jabs that MJF gave to him. He didn't really go into detail about why Matt Taven and Mike Bennett have a vendetta against MJF. He just kind they just
By
kind of do.
association. That's basically it.
Yeah, and then obviously Wardlow, because he mentioned all the crap that MJF put Wardlow through. I do
Which is
kind of like the
fair.
Wardlow inclusion because he's not really realizing that like he's basically back in the same spot that he was in. But I think the reason I like it is because he hates MJF so much. He's basically willing to kind of be treated. I don't want to say like crap because obviously Adam Cole I don't think is treating Wardlow the same way MJF was, but like essentially he's back into like the same role that he was in when he was with MJF. But he just hates MJF so much he just doesn't realize it, which I think is kind of entertaining. And they mentioned their mission statement. They want to take over AEW and basically get all the belts, and they're already have a good start because obviously the Kingdom minus Roderick Strong, the ROH World Tag Team Champions. Um, and then he mentions that Roderick Strong wants the International Championship and that Wardlow's going to go after the AEW World Championship. However, when Adam Cole is fully healed, he's going to vacate it and hand it over to him. Um, Obviously, we still don't know, obviously, because as um, Samoa Joe and the Devil, when we didn't know it was Adam Cole, had some type of working relationship. So obviously, they're gonna have to find a way to explain that. They may not even get to a point where they can even do that match. So we don't even know yet. But overall, I thought the mission statement's been good. Not a lot's really gone on really with the Undisputed Kingdom because they obviously gave them that name. They've obviously now it's set up an international title match between Orange Cassidy and well, if Orange Cassidy anyways keeps the belt by Revolution, because he said he's going to defend the title weekly, so he may not even be the champion. But we know Roderick Strong's going to get an international title match at Revolution. And the Kingdom are just kind of doing their thing. I haven't been able to watch ROH the past few weeks, so I don't know and what they've been doing storyline wise in ROH. If they've just been kind of hanging around, they've done a few proven ground matches on Collision and things like that. But other than that, they've just been kind of doing their thing. And Wardlow's just been destroying everybody, as you said. You know, Commander was on the list of people that got destroyed by Wardlow. I heard Wardlow got. I don't think it's anything major, but he got like a minor injury when he faced. I don't think it was Commander. I think it was Trent Beretta or. I forget who it was. He faced someone recently on Dynamite and got like some type of injury out of it, but I forget who it was. You know, overall, I'm enjoying the formation of the Undisputed Kingdom. We've also had another faction. I didn't put it in the notes because it kind of goes with this storyline that's kind of formed through this, because obviously this was the startings of the formation between Bullet Club Gold and the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass. Obviously, because they both been attacked in some way by the Undisputed Kingdom. They want, the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass wanted to be in a faction with them, so that way they could have the numbers and everything like that. They even helped them. They even helped Bullet Club Gold win the ROH World 6-man tag team titles. And eventually they did form. They did a big segment on Collision. I think it was the same week it went up against the Royal Rumble. Where they formed, and they're now called the Bane Scissor Gang. Really enjoying that faction so far. I imagine it's going to build to some type of big match with, Undisputed Kingdom versus the Bane Scissor Gang. I think they're just waiting for Adam Cole to fully heal from his injuries to finally do that match. So, how do you... I mean, you kind of gave a teaser to how you feel about this storyline forming and everything like that, but how do you kind of feel about the formation of the Undisputed Kingdom, the mission statement, and meanwhile the formation of the Bane Scissor Gang?
The formation of the Undisputed Kingdom makes fucking sense, because it's basically like, I'm gonna come and get everybody who is literally beefing with you to literally just come here to fuck you up, and for them to actually have a reason why they want to take over AEW, because why not? I'm fine with it. So all they gotta do is basically start from the bottom to now you're here, which makes sense, because if you want to take over it, if you want to win all the titles, let's start with the minor ones first, because the minor ones is actually going to be your foundation. I want people to understand that, because half of these niggas here don't understand it at all. If you want to take over a promotion, start from the bottom. You don't have to start from the top. You could, yes, you could start from the top, but that's not necessarily the main thing you could do. Because I want you to understand this though, because half of these niggas don't understand it at all. Taking over a promotion means to take over everything. They even said they want to win all the titles. Let's start from the tag team to the singles, then to the world titles. If you want to include a female, then take the women's title too. Come on now. So yeah.
Yep.
And as for the bang gang with the scissors and the gang bang, yeah, why the fuck not?
Why not?
That's all I gotta say about that one.
I mean, my only critique, I think, is I wish when we saw the Acclaimed on that episode, that would have been the return to AEW, because I'm pretty sure they came back right before World's End. I think they should have waited a few more weeks, but other than that, everything else was pretty good. And then But yeah, like I said, they're actually technically dominating two different promotions because ROH is included in there too. They have the
Yeah,
ROH World Tag Team titles already. So um, owned by the same person, but it's still a different promotion. So
yeah.
it's been pretty good so far. Also, a big thing that's come out of World's End was we've gotten to see what Samoa Joe is going to do as AEW World Champion. He's been a really good champion so far. Basically, he basically says, that you just have to show him your credentials and you'll get a title shot. Um, and
Yeah, just
uh,
come over here and try me, bitch.
yeah, Hook tried his shot. He had a really good showing, but didn't get the belt at the end of the day. Um, Meanwhile, two other people have been trying to go after Samoa Joe for the AEW World Championship. Swerve Strickland, because that's the thing he wants. He wants to be the first African American
Oh my
world champion in
god,
AEW.
let's go.
Um, Also, Heyman Adam Page has thrown his hand into the hat because he blamed Samoa Joe for the reason he was attacked because, since Samoa Joe was working with the devil, what a coincidence that the same segment where, Samoa Joe called him out for it, he was attacked, and he still wants to go after Swerve Strickland for their feud last year. So, they've both been racking up wins. They're undefeated so far this year, and they're gonna have a match this upcoming episode of Dynamite because I don't know when you're gonna post this. Well, it probably would have already happened by then, so we don't know the result yet because this is in the past. But yeah, Swerve Strickland, Heyman, and Page are having a match to determine the number one contender because the rankings came out, but I think they want to really determine a contender since Swerve and Heyman and Page are both undefeated so far in 2024. I'm really scared because I really don't think Swerve's winning. I really want him to, but I feel like they're gonna give the win to Heyman and Page. The thing I think that would be the most beneficial. Well, one it would be Swerve winning, but the thing I'll accept is if they do a time limit draw and they do a triple threat match at Revolution, but I don't know how likely that is to happen, but I'm hoping it does happen. But overall, I've enjoyed kind of like Samoa Joe's road as AEW World Champion. He's got two challengers that are coming after him. The only reason I think, too, that they might give the win to Hangman is because he's more of a pure babyface. I know AEW is not shy of doing heel versus heel, but I think Samoa Joe and Swerve Strickland so dastardly that it'd be kind of weird to put them up in a matchup with each other. I think Heyman and Page, has the crowd behind him a little bit more. But again, if they do a triple threat match, I think that would be more acceptable. But yeah, how do you kind of feel about how Samoa Joe's been doing so far as AEW World Champion and all the challengers he's got to kind of deal with right now?
I love Samoa Joe, and like the fact that he now has a bunch of challengers is pretty fucking dope. Because the
There you
thing
go.
is that like the thing is just like, bro, they actually got like challenges, and now he could just mow through all of them. Like, yes, I really want Swerve to be the first black champion because that is my boy right there.
Yeah,
But the thing is that like I'm willing to wait. I am
I
willing
am
to
too.
wait because yes, people really want him to like actually win the fucking belt immediately, but that's not a good idea. That is not a good idea because yes, strike while the like strike while the iron's hot, but sometimes it's best to wait because when it actually happens, dog, bro, like when it actually happens, it's gonna be a big moment. So
I think it
yeah.
will be. Yeah, I
So
think.
like yeah. Plus, I do think Hangman. I think he's gonna win. He's gonna beat Swerve, and I don't like it, but I don't mind it because we get the only reason why I say that is because when Hangman wins, Samoa Joe can like choke his ass out,
There you go.
then go through everybody else. When it hits Swerve's gonna win, and then boom, there you go.
Yeah, so that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
He does have a little bit of an out because, like, this time around, Swerve did ask the Mogul Embassy not to interfere this time, so maybe they'll do something where, like, they try to interfere, anyways, and, Swerve tries to tell him, like, to leave, and it distracts him where Heyman Page causes him to get the win, so, you know, um, they can protect Swerve in defeat very well, and everything like that, so, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But we've had another big thing that's happening. We'll continue in the road to Stin's retirement. He's had a few matches recently. Him and Darby just recently on the homecoming episode of AEW beat Don Callis' team of Powerhouse Hobbs and Kanosuke Takeshita. And after that, the Young Bucks returned. And they have a new character now, pretty much. They're pretty much vibing with the EVP stuff now. They're acting like major douchebags now and everything like that. There's been a few segments where they've shown up to the building, and I think they saw Top Flight or something, and they got fined for showing up late when they were the ones that were showing up late or something. Or if now they want to be referred to by the government names of Nicholas and Matthew Jackson. I almost said Michael Jackson. So wait, that's not his name. But yeah, and one of them didn't refer to them as their government name, so they got fined $500, and they had to pay it by the end of the episode of Dynamite. So they've been pretty good at this.
I'm not gonna hold you, bro.
But yeah, they've been pretty good in this role. But the reason this is important is because they've been kind of calling out Stin. They talk about how they love Stin, but Stin kind of references the old guard taking up spots from the newer talent. They want to put a stop to that. So they challenged Stin to a match in his final match at Revolution. They haven't accepted yet. Stin and Darby have kind of pivoted to another focus, and that's the AEW World Tag Team Championships because they're undefeated as a tag team. So this upcoming week, they're having a tag title match with Ricky Starks and Big Bill, where Ricky Starks, wants to kind of gain Stin's respect because, he was Stin's first opponent technically in AEW. And he feels that Stin kind of took away a lot of his momentum when he beat him at Revolution the first time they faced off and everything like that. So, and they want to see Big Bill become this killer because they haven't seen that yet from Big Bill yet. So, I've enjoyed the road to Stin's retirement. I like how there's all this different type of stuff going for him. Obviously, I imagine what's going to happen is they're going to win the tag titles, and then the Young Bucks are going to get into the mix. And they're going to end up facing Stin and Darby for the tag titles, and that will be Stin's last match. It does kind of make sense. Obviously, a lot of people were mad because they wanted Stin and Darby to go at it one-on-one, but, Stin doesn't want that. He wants to finish his career this way with Darby. And I think this would be cool because this does make sense because, when the Young Bucks first made their name in a big wrestling promotion, it was back in the TNA days, and Stin was a big factor there, so it kind of works that it's, and Stin's always spoken very highly of the Young Bucks, so it kind of works that this is going to be Stin's last match. So, yeah, how do you feel about the road to Stin's retirement right now?
It's pretty good. But at the same time, I'm pretty scared. Because it's I'm happy he's finally getting his actual retirement because it's been a while. The reason why I say I'm scared is... excuse me. The only reason why I said I'm kind of scared, what the fuck, is because the Young Bucks are too fast for him, dog.
I could see that, yeah.
I don't think he could keep up, dog. But I hope the match is good. Because I do know for a fact that the Young Bucks are willing to, work with Sting's old ass. But,
yeah.
But I just hope that, how do I put this? I really want Sting to have, a good... Okay, so I was originally thought Sting's final match is going to be him against Darby, which would be kind of cool. But realizing now, it's Sting probably can't keep up with Darby because Darby is just too hyper for him.
Yeah.
So So like I hope the match is good because Sting deserves his actual retirement. This man is old as shit, but he somehow keeps jumping off of stuff, which scares me sometimes.
Yeah, like I think it was like one of the first sparks like we did together when he did the big jump. I think it was after Forbidden Door, off the ladder through the table
This
and
man's on
everything like that.
perks, dog. What the hell, bro? Be an old man, dog. Come on now. You're old. Stop.
um, Other things going on. Lately, the TNT title picture. It's been kind of cooled off a little bit, but there's still stuff going on with it. You know, Christian Cage kind of told Adam Copeland he's going to get to the back of the line. He's going to have to work his way back up to face him for the TNT title. I love, too, that Christian Cage won't even reference the fact that he lost the belt. He's treating this like it's
he
like
never
one
lost the
continuous
belt.
ring. Yeah. I think
Pretty
it's true this
funny.
too. Like he's been champion since like Collision started too. Like he's never he doesn't reference his when he was Luchasaurus at the time, his TNT title reign. He thinks he's been the champion all this time, which I think is awesome.
So,
But
it's
yeah, pretty
goofy as
much he
shit,
told
man.
uh
It's so fucking goofy.
but yeah, pretty much he told Adam Copeland he's gonna get to the back of the line. Um this and Adam Copeland said he's willing to put the work in, unlike Christian Cage. So we started doing the Cope Open, and he's had a few matches. He's faced Griff Garrison, Lee Moriarty, Dante Mountain, Minoru Suzuki,
For
and I
some
think that's the most
fucking
recent
reason,
one.
he faced Minoru Suzuki.
Yeah. And that's the most recent one he's faced. I've enjoyed the Cope Open for the most part. We've had good matches out of it and everything like that, and it shows that Copeland can hang with the top stars in AEW and everything like that. If I had to say the best match of the Cope Open, it was probably the Minoru Suzuki match, and there always has to be a worse. I think the Griff Garrison one was the worst one, but it was the first one. It wasn't necessarily
Nobody
bad. It was
cares
just
about
kind of.
fucking Griff Garrison, dog. They know
But
cares about this nigga.
But as this has been going on, Christian Cage has been kind of sitting on the sidelines a little bit. He's only had one TNT title defense since then, and that was against Dustin Rhodes, and that was a really good one. And it looks like he's going to be facing Daniel Garcia fairly soon for the TNT title because Daniel Garcia and FTR beats the Patriarchy in a trios match on this most recent episode of Collision. And Daniel Garcia threw out the challenge for him to face Christian Cage for the TNT title. Christian Cage hasn't accepted yet, so we don't even know if the match is going to happen. But, I've enjoyed the TNT title picture. It does kind of seem like Christian Cage and Adam Copeland just kind of wait until Revolution to pick their feud back up again. I imagine, because Copeland's supposed to do a promo on this episode's coming up of Collision. I imagine that's when he'll call out Christian Cage again, and Christian Cage will be like, nah, I got other things going on. But overall, how do you kind of feel like how the TNT title picture's looking these days with the Cope Open and everything like that?
I really don't know, to be honest with you. I'm gonna be fair. I haven't been watching. I haven't been watching Collision a bit for real. To be honest, dog.
Yeah,
But
because that's where most of the Cope Open challenges take place too.
yeah, but I'm happy he's actually like rebuilding himself, starting from scratch, so he could actually go back to face to face Christian, because I do love me like a good rebuild story.
There you go.
So yeah, so I hope he end up going up against him at Revolution. Hopefully.
Yeah. And we'll have to wait and see what happens there.
Yeah.
Other things going on is we've still had the feud between House of Black and FTR. They had a few matches with each other. FTR beat Malachi and Buddy Matthews in a match. And then afterwards, Daniel Garcia made the save, which kind of caused FTR and Daniel Garcia to form a trios. They lost to House of Black the first time. And then they had a steel cage match where the only way to win was it was elimination, pretty much. You had to escape the cage.
Weird
A
stipulation,
lot
to be
of
fair.
huh?
That was a weird stipulation, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't like this escape the cage stipulation, especially because why would you escape most of the time? Like
Yeah.
House of yeah, it's weird. Because you're outnumbered
You're
with your
running
team and
away.
everything like that. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
I read they did this because they wanted to protect Malachi Black, but I heard that
Fair
when this
enough.
was reported, Buddy Matthews and Brody King roasted. I think it was Meltzer that reported this or something, and said that that wasn't true. But I'm not sure why they did escape the cage. Honestly, I really don't know.
I mean, how I would have done it if you want to protect Malachi Black, make it like a you can have like elimination, but make it like pinfall or okay, pinfall submission or stoppage.
There you go. Yeah,
Just leave the fucking corpse in the ring.
protected him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the cage match was very good. They did a bit backstage where Daniel Garcia got laid out before the match, so it didn't look like he wasn't going to be able to compete. So Mark Briscoe was originally going to step in, but he got jumped before the match started. So it looked like FTR was going to have to go in 2-on-3. But then Daniel Garcia was able to come out there, and Mark Briscoe played a factor into why they won. They did a spot where Garcia was escaping over the top. When Malachi Black tried to escape through the door, and Mark Briscoe slammed the door in his face, knocking him out. And, Daniel Garcia escaped over the top. It was kind of the end of that feud. And then eventually, the new feuds have taken place. It's the stuff I mentioned with the TNT title picture with Daniel Garcia. And now House of Black are going to enter a feud with Mark Briscoe, basically saying that they're going to try to erase him from the history of professional wrestling. They could do it just like that. And they did a bit where, the lights went out. And then, I think they said, see, that's the beauty of a magic trick. So,
I actually like that, to be honest. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was good. Was in the early stages of the Mark Briscoe House of Black feud, but overall I enjoyed the FTR feud. It sucks though. House of Black keep getting into these feuds, and they don't seem to win any of these feuds. They always lose them, which is okay. I'd like them to win one of these feuds, but it doesn't seem like that's on the cards right now. So overall, how do you feel about how the FTR? Also, Daniel Garcia and House of Black feud played out. And I guess you could give your thoughts on the new feud that's going to take place now between House of Black and Mark Briscoe.
I honestly think I'm not mad about the feud, to be fair. It's I really do like the fact that now they're getting more and more exposure. Because the thing is, I really like fucking that sounds crazy. I really I just realized what I just fucking said a bit.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But I really like the fact the House of Black is getting more on TV, because that's one of my thing. I love the House of Black. I really do. And I hope I haven't seen the cage match, which I'm kind of mad at myself about. But now I want the House of Black to win a feud. Okay, Malachi Black has money. He is legit money, bro.
He is.
If he ain't gonna win the world title, make him win the All Atlantic and just have him have a crazy ass run. Because Malachi Black is just the absolute GOAT. I need this man to fucking win a belt. But they need to at least win a feud once. I don't care if they don't win a feud like that. I just want them to I want them to win something. But I'm happy that they're getting more exposure. That's the only thing I like right now, is the fact they're getting more exposure. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think they've main evented the last three, other than this episode, the last 3 episodes of Collision.
Which is awesome.
That's like that. We'll go over to the women's division now. This is really the biggest thing that's going on in the women's division.
Purrazzo.
We had the debut of Deonna Purrazzo. She debuted in New Jersey in her hometown, which was cool. This was after Mariah May had her first match in AEW, and she wants to go after the AEW Women's World Title. And I'm cool with that. Her and Tony Storm. I'm sorry, Timeless Tony Storm have been having a pretty good program. Basically, they did a bit in the beginning where Timeless Tony Storm acted like she didn't recognize her and everything like that, but then eventually she admitted that she did and everything like that. They did a fun face off. You know, I think a few weeks ago where Tony Storm not Tony Storm, Deonna Purrazzo threw a shoe at Luther and everything like that. The match has already been set up for Revolution. That's the first official match that AEW has announced for Revolution. Kind of a bit soon to announce the match, but it is what it is. Deonna Purrazzo's had a few matches in AEW recently. She's looked very impressive in all of them. The best match she probably had was against Tyra Valkyrie. I think that was the most recent episode of Dynamite. That was probably the best match she's had in AEW so far. And yeah, I'm happy that she ended up going to AEW because obviously it was very mixed about which one she was going to pick, whether that was going to be WWE and AEW. I figured it was going to be WWE because she's really good friends with Chelsea Green, and I thought she would have convinced her to go to WWE. But I think AEW makes the most sense just because WWE, as we see from the Rumble now, has so many stars in the women's division. I think in all three brands, I think Deonna Purrazzo would get very lost in the shuffle if she went to WWE. Now, will that happen in AEW? Because that tends to happen to a lot of the women that they signed. It probably will. But only time will tell. Because I don't think she's going to be the one that ends up dethroning Tony Storm for the women's title. I think there's a lot of legs that Tony Storm can still do with the belt. But I think she'll have a really good match with her, but I just kind of hope there's a plan for her after she loses the Timeless Tony Storm. I hope she doesn't just fade away into the background and everything like that, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, overall, how have you felt about the debut of Deonna Purrazzo?
Yeah, it was alright. I don't know much like that about her. I mean, I know about her, but I'm like, oh, cool. So, anyways,
There you go. And again, it goes back to our complaint. This is really the only storyline really going on in
for
the
the
women's
division, what the fuck?
There's been a few TBS title matches, but there hasn't been anything big with them. Julia Hart's kind of doing nothing right now, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. And then, yeah, just that's it. I can't think of any other storylines going on with the women's division. So that's a problem that AEW's had from the beginning, and now there's really no excuses. Now you have 3 shows where you can showcase the women's division, and you only have one storyline going on. It's just
The women's
and
division.
Impact only has one show, and they have multiple storyline. Well, I'm sorry, TNA has one show. But so.
One thing I will say though is that the women's I'm going to compare WWE's and AEW's division, right?
Okay.
Fucking WWE doesn't really have that many stars, but AEW has fucking stars. WWE is using WWE got less star power, but they know what they're doing with the women's. Meanwhile, AEW has a lot of stars, but don't know what to do with them, which is fucking reverse for each of them. But I just hope AEW's just fucking do something for real.
Yeah.
I'm getting aggravated, dog.
Then also they've continued the Chris Jericho Don Callis feud. It kind of went cold for a little bit. They kind of separated because Jericho and Guevara went for the AEW World Tag Belts, and at Battle of the Belts, I don't even know what number it was because it was so long ago.
Yes.
But they lost the tag title opportunity. due to the Don Callis family's interference, and basically Chris Jericho says that he's going to go after the Don Callis family. So they've kind of restarted that feud again. I'm kind of over this feud and everything like that. They obviously have to keep the Don Callis family going, and I think they were going to do a big blow-off match, but obviously because Kenny has diverticulitis and everything like that, and he's going to be gone a long time, they have to kind of go back to this. Yeah, this feud's not bad. It's just very stale. I'm very over this feud. So how do you? And again, obviously, there's a lot of things that doesn't make sense, like Guevara going back with Jericho. But again, you can't really fault AEW on that one because they lost Kenny, so they had to do something to kind of spike some interest back into this feud.
Yeah.
So it's like how do you feel about this? I'm kind of plus two. They had to kind of like have Jericho like take breaks, and they've had to have him do Rampage to kind of so that way they could fix his booze and everything like that. So overall, how have you kind of felt about the Jericho Don Callis feud?
I forgot that they still feuding a bit.
There you go. I think it's mainly because it's all the shows you don't watch, like Rampage and Battle of the Bells. That's probably why you forgot their feud.
Like I know they had a match, but like I know Jericho and Guevara had a tag team title match. I know that, but I didn't even watch it. Nor do I fucking care.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, there has been one good thing. We got a couple Bana matches. We got a Bana match with Jericho and Kyle Fletcher on this episode of Dynamite, and then this week we're gonna get the rematch from DDT when Jericho faced Konosuke Takeshita. So it's gonna be good stuff.
Which Takeshita better fucking win.
We'll see. The only thing I haven't liked either is they had Guevara be off a few weeks because he went off the stage and not the stage but like the arena. They brought him back on like Rampage this week, like in a backstage shit. They should have left him off until like probably this week, like have Guevara make the save for him and everything like that. But that didn't happen. So, and then another feud they've continued that I haven't liked is this Eddie Kingston and Bryan Danielson feud. This has been still really good. They had a tag match a few weeks ago where Bryan Danielson and I think it was Claudio teamed up to face Eddie and Ortiz. And they basically had Eddie forced to watch them beat up Ortiz and everything like that. And Bryan Danielson's been pretty much trying to get Eddie Kingston to lose his cool. He's been trying to disrespect him. He spat in his face after, Eddie Kingston beat Brian Keith in a Proven Grounds match for the Continental Crown. He came out and like stole his spotlight. But Eddie Kingston doesn't want to lose his cool. And Bryan Danielson basically talked about when he lost to Eddie Kingston, it was like the lowest moment of his wrestling career. So he's not really in a rush to try to get into the ring with Eddie Kingston because he doesn't want to take the chance of losing to him again and everything like that. So pretty much Bryan Danielson's playing mind games with Eddie Kingston and everything like that. It's been really good stuff. Eddie Kingston's been very entertaining too as Continental Crown champion. The big complaint we did yesterday, because we talked off camera, is they don't really, unless you look at cage match, they don't do a good job explaining anytime Eddie Kingston defends the Continental Crown. They don't do a good job explaining if it's all for all three titles, and or if it's just one title at a time and everything like that. I know you say you can just look at cage match, but it's not everyone looks at cage match, so they should really do a better job explaining how the Continental Crown kind of works, because they haven't really done a good job of explaining that and everything like that. So overall, how have you felt about the Eddie Kingston and Bryan Danielson feud? I think it's been really good and everything like that.
Good. Because it's simple. It's really fucking simple for real.
Yeah. So there you go. I didn't write it down because I forgot, but also stuff that's going on with the Blackpool Combat Club. CMLL just entered a partnership with AEW, and they've already made an impact right away, pretty much. While John Moxley was having a match on Dynamite, he got knocked into them, so he kind of got into a shovel match with them, and after his match was over, they beat him up, and recently on Collision this week, Bryan Danielson had a match with Hechicero. That's how you say that name. And he beat him in a really good technical class. And Yeah, they've been doing kind of like an invasion storyline with CMLL and everything like that.
So,
I've enjoyed it. We're still in the early stages of it and everything like that. Um, and yeah, how have you felt about this feud going on between
dog, they
CMLL and?
jumped Mox, dog. It was the funniest shit I've ever seen. I never seen a
It was
man
bad.
get jumped so fucking bad. That shit was hilarious. Mox was acting hard as shit, and then he got jumped. I was like, "Alright, bro, that's what you fucking get. Stop being a
Yeah,
dick, dog." He jumped his ass. I was like, "What the fuck am I looking at?"
it was bad. Yeah.
It was
Um,
hilarious.
because I feel like too, they were really stomping into him and everything
They
like
was
that too.
whooping his ass, dog. I was like, bro, you want to be you want to be a hard motherfucker, then you over here getting jumped and shit. That's what you fucking get.
Yeah. Um, the other little things that have been going on, we've had the return of Private Party.
Hmm.
They're back now. Well, really only Mark Quinn returned, but they're back as like a team now and everything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is cool. They've had a couple matches being back. They faced Top Flight. They cheated to win the first match, and then they lost the rematch because Action Andretti kept them from cheating pretty much. So they haven't done a lot since being back. They did have a backstage segment with the Hardys where it looked like they could have teased a match, but nothing's come of it since then. So it's still like the early stages of them being back.
Yeah.
So I like seeing them back. I'm happy they're back. But they kind of need to get involved a little bit more in the mix and everything like that. So yeah, how you feel about the return of Private Party?
I'm happy he's back. I haven't seen that man in a while. Like almost like a year or some change,
Yeah.
which is still fucking crazy.
Um, and then we had the continuation of this Ruby Soho. I'm trying to remember what his name is. It's not Daddy. No, it's
Cool
not.
Hand
Matt.
Angelo.
Yeah, Kuhan
Cool.
Angelo.
Yeah.
This relationship storyline they got going on. It's taking a weird turns. So they added what's her name to the Outcast. She used to be with QTV and everything
Some
like
bitch. I
that.
don't fucking know who the fuck she is.
Yeah. They added her to it, and it looks like Surveyor is trying to get like them together. I'm not really sure what's going on because they did a segment on Rampage recently where they kissed and they showed Ruby Soho the footage, but they didn't show the whole footage. It looked like that Cool Hand Ange went for the kiss, and but then when she walked away, the rest of the footage played. And we found out that it was her. Um, that did that. And then Ruby Soho questioned her about it, and then she tried to make it seem like Anna Jay put her up to it because Soraya told her to do so. And yeah, we're just kind of in this weird state right now where they're trying to get them together and they're just doing this big storyline. I haven't been very into this storyline. It's been not very good. Um,
Is it because you can't get a girl? I'm an asshole. Let me stop, bro. Let me stop bullying you real quick.
um, but yeah, I just haven't. It just hasn't been very good television. So how have you kind of felt about this, like Ruby Soho,
I forgot all
Kuhan
about the
Ange?
storyline. To be fair, I'm like, what the
There you
fuck?
go. So it's just like, yeah.
I forgot that was going on for real. Fuck is going on with AEW, bro?
This is. I think you forgot too because this has only been on Rampage. It hasn't been on any of the other shows. It's only on Rampage. This happens.
Jesus
So
Christ.
yeah. I think this is making you not ever want to watch Rampage ever again. Um,
I don't even watch it to begin with, dog.
we've had a couple tribute segments to kind of pay tribute to the ones that passed on. They did one for Mr. Brody Lee because they went to Daly's place, and that's where like he made that's where his whole AEW career took place, pretty much. Um,
Unfortunately, which sucks.
yeah, it's been good. They did like a couple 8-man tags where they had a representative who used to be in the Dark Order. One was Anna Jay, and one was Preston Vance. and they ended up getting like the win and falls in their matches. And then on Rampage, they did one with the actual members of Dark Order that are still in the group, and they did a cool one. And then they both got title shots out of it. Anna Jay faced Julia Hart for the TBS title, and then Preston Vance faced Orange Cassidy for the international title. They didn't win their matches, but they were cool tributes. And then as for the Jay Briscoe tribute, they did a cool tribute where Mark Briscoe came out and he like talked about the accident and everything like that. He mentioned that like Jay Briscoe's daughters were never gonna walk again. They did a segment where they actually walked out, and Mark Briscoe like threw shade at the doctor too, like was like, yeah, see, they're walking now and everything like that. It was really funny. How'd you feel about these tributes? I thought they were great tributes.
That's pretty good, bro. Like stuff like this is why I like AEW because they know how to do a tribute for real.
They do.
Like even if it's like really subtle, it's really small. Like they know what they're doing, which is pretty dope.
Then we get weird again because they're doing another storyline that's just mainly been on Rampage, and that's Stokely Hathaway. He's trying to become Chris Statlander's manager for some reason.
Okay, this storyline I kind of follow because if you go to Stokely's Twitter, it is the funniest shit, dog.
Oh, what's on his ex?
Yeah, it's Twitter.
Account.
but he is. Okay, so he posted it one thing by so he paid Kurt Angle to like do like a cameo to help Willow to join Stokely, bro. It's hilarious. This man is doing everything in his power to work with Willow and Chris Statlander.
No, Statlander. Yeah, it's Statlander.
He also tried to get Willow too, which is funny as shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
I wish the storyline could be on Dynamite. It's only been on Rampage, but it's been funny. There was a segment where like Statlander came out with him one week, and like we found out Willow Nightingale wasn't there. We didn't know why, but then we found out like she ended up missing a flight and all that type of stuff. And it was because it's implied that Stokely Hathaway had something to do with it, but they never said. And he's trying to basically make her look like the bad guy, like she's the one that's trying, And Chris Statlander doesn't really know whose side to take, but she wants to try to make this work where everybody can kind of get along. And I've been really entertained by this storyline. I kind of want to see where it goes. I don't know if someone's turning heel and gonna join up with Stokely Hathaway or what, but just Stokely Hathaway's a hero, man. He's been awesome in this storyline.
This man is fucking hilarious, dog.
I
love Stokely.
And then another thing I didn't write down, I want to make sure we mentioned, they're kind of doing some weird stuff with Jeff Hardy right now. It looks like he's going heel because he's had a few matches recently. He faced Darby one week, and they had a really great match, but then Darby went for a handshake and Jeff didn't want to take it. And then after he had a match with Mox, Jeff just he didn't completely flip him off, but he did it was implied that he was flipping him off, and then just been kind of like complaining on Rampage that he can't get on Dynamite and everything like that. So I'm not sure what's going on with Jeff Hardy, if he's going heel or what, but it's an interesting path to take him with Jeff Hardy. They're kind of trying to show he's got a new attitude to him now and everything like that. What do you think? What's going on with Jeff Hardy right now? Because it's really weird.
Another me is all what they ever see. Fucking I hope he comes back with that theme song, bro. Another me.
I love it.
Awesome.
And then we have a thing that's on AEW related. I haven't seen this segment yet, so you're gonna have to really talk about this. Jack Perry showed up at New Japan Battle of the Valley recently.
This nigga showed up out of nowhere. I was like, what the fuck you doing here? Go away.
Apparently he ripped up his AEW contract and everything like that. And I haven't seen the segment yet, but a lot of people are questioning whether this is a storyline or not because
he ripped up his contract. He's like I'm done with this bullshit. Fuck you all.
Yeah, so I'm interested by this. This could be a new direction for him, but again, we don't know if it's a work or not. Um, yeah, but it definitely got a lot of people talking, which was good. So, yeah, how did you feel about how this? Because you probably saw the segment. I haven't been able to see it yet. This Jack Perry ripping up his contract and everything like that, and
Yeah, man, he
being
ripped
done
the
with
shit
a.
out that joint. I was like, damn, that's crazy, bro.
Then the final thing we're gonna talk about is the rankings are back for AEW.
Are you
They
happy?
went away, huh?
Are you happy? It's back.
Um, I'm in the middle. You know, they didn't really do a good job the first time around they did the rankings. They didn't really do a good job like listing out the rankings and everything like that.
It was
A lot of things
inconsistent.
affected. Yeah, a lot of things affected the rankings too because I'm pretty sure they had to kind of go away because the pandemic hit. So like a lot of people that were on the rankings, like I think Dark Order at one point went on the rankings. It was during that time Evil Uno and Stu Grayson couldn't make it back to America because they got trapped in Canada. Um, and then they also don't like really do a good job explaining the rankings the first time around. I remember too they did it weekly. I hope they don't do it weekly this time. It seems like they're gonna do it monthly this time around, which I think is a better alternative.
Hmm?
Um, and I feel like it's weird that they brought it back in the end of January. I don't know why they didn't just do it in the beginning of the year, but that's the way they decided to do
You
it.
know why they did it?
Um,
Because okay, so there's a reason why, and I know why they they did it like late January. The reason why they probably did it is is mostly because of that. It's mostly because of um the fact that they got all the tallies, right? They got so they okay. You said they're doing it a monthly, right?
yes.
That's
Well,
why.
that's what it looks like, anyways. I don't know because they haven't
Most
explained that
likely
yet.
could doing it a monthly because they want to get all the cumulative matches they did and then rank, who has the most wins and all that and all that other shit. That's probably why.
All
It's
right.
it's pretty much smart for real.
Uh, but yeah, we had the first set of rankings go out. I'll read them off real quick. I gotta pull it up. 'Cause I don't have this ready because I didn't think we would get to this point of the show this quickly. This is probably the quickest Spark ever, and we had so much to talk about. I don't know how we did this so quick, but we did. Okay, where is the rankings? Okay, I want to go here.
God damn it, bro.
Um, okay. Where is the
Damn it,
rankings?
man.
I'm gonna find this. Don't you worry.
Fuck. You're supposed to be ready, nigga.
I had this ready, and then all of
I'm
a
the
sudden I
one
just
who,
didn't.
bruh. I'm the one who is supposed to be not ready. You're supposed to be ready. The fuck?
I wasn't sure if I was trying to make the decision whether or not I wanted to read them off, and I'm like, I'll just read them off. So I'm gonna keep looking.
Jesus
I'm
fucking
on their
Christ, this
Insta-
man still
I'm
can't
on
find
their
it.
I'm on their Instagram page now, and they post a lot of stuff on their Instagram page.
I
So
don't know why
it
would they
takes
do
a,
that.
and of course too, like I'm trying to find it on their Instagram page, and I'm just on a forever loading screen right now, so that's not helping.
Jesus
Um,
fucking Christ.
I'll try the website. Maybe it'll be there.
You are a lost cause, dog.
I want to do this next time. I promise.
I'm going to hit you. Alright. So, okay. So I found it. Okay.
Okay.
I found it. So, currently, let's list off the men's champions. A world champion. Some random Samoan named Joe. The TNT champion. Cage Christian. Then we got the All Atlantic terrain.
It's the international championship.
That belt. Tangerine Cassidy. And then for the Triple Crown Continental Crown, it is Kofi Kingston without the it's Kofi Kingston without the Kofi. So here are the top 5 contenders as of January 31st, 2024. Swerve Strickland is number 1. Hangman Adam Page is number 2. Edge is number 3. Mox John is number 4. 10 and a not so strong Roderick is number 5. Then we got the women's current champions. TNT. Women's world champion is Timeless Tony Rain, and TBS champion is Natalia Hart named Julia. So the top 5 contenders as of January 31st is DP, Deonna Purrazzo, Storm Rosa, Hikaru Shida, Sky Red, and Mariah May. The following order: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. For the tag team champion, for the tag team champions, the current champ is Stark Bill. Then we got the contenders: Sting and Son, John Silver and Alex Reynolds, Danielson Castagnoli, Private Party, Tangerine Cassidy, and Trent ? Then for the trios part of things, we got the Scissor Me Daddy Ass, and here are the contenders currently 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Bullet Club Silver, Hardys and the Briscoe, Dark Law, which is Dark Order, FTR and Dancing Daniel Garcia, and number 5, the House of Niggas. There we go.
Also, overall the rankings for the most part make sense. About who's ranked where. I mean, the only one that didn't make sense, like I just said, was why is Hikaru Shida in the top 5 of the women? She hasn't been on TV in a long time,
because she's the GOAT. The fuck.
But he hasn't been on TV at all.
She's the GOAT. The
fuck. Yeah, everybody else that's there makes sense. Obviously, the rankings have only been back not even a week, so it'll be kind of interesting how they introduce this into the program. And we'll have to wait and see. A lot of people say the rankings went away because CM Punk politicked them to go away, but I'm not sure, if that is true or not. But we have to wait and see.
I think they went away. And this is the most logical reason why they wasn't consistent.
Yeah, not at all. So just definitely they have to stay consistent on it. So far, they're doing a good job. You could say, well, why isn't Swerve getting the title shot if he's ranked number 1? Well, that's because they explained that pretty well because Heyman and Swerve are both undefeated so far in 2024, so they want to make sure they settle that out and everything like that. So it would be good if they kind of can keep it consistent. How do you feel about the rankings being back and everything like that?
If I'm being honest, I'm actually kind of happy because, I'm mostly happy because of the fact that finally we're going to get actual reason why they're gunning for the title. Plus I get to see, who wins more matches and all that other shit because, it makes sense.
Nice.
Plus,
and I'm happy it's monthly versus weekly too.
Yeah. Monthly makes sense. And plus we get to keep up with our boy. You know who it is? Our main boy? No. We get
Serpentico?
Yes, we get to keep up with his losses, baby.
Too bad the records reset in the 2024, so technically he's undefeated, I think, so far in 2024. So that's good. He's undefeated.
It's not just that though. It's because the fact that we still know his overall record. we get to keep up with his overall record and see if he's still a loser or not.
By the way, I do have to know. By the way, are we counting our weight matches? Because I think those are the lone records.
Nah. Nah. The only reason why I said nah is because they don't really keep up with that specifically because it's Ring of Honor shit. So.
So he could actually go undefeated because he wrestles mainly on ROH. He doesn't wrestle that much in AEW. So
I doubt it. He's still a loser regardless.
What if he just goes on this massive winning streak though? All of a sudden?
If he does, I'm losing my fucking mind.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can't wait to start to keep up with Serpentico. I want to know what I still want to know what Angelico's thinking is. You know, he's the one because he's in a tag team with him now and everything like that. Like, why is he teaming up with this dude? I don't understand this. Like,
I can fix him.
he hasn't fixed him yet. He hasn't done a very good job. So
they need to do a storyline where they training Serpentico to actually win,
and he still loses. I still will never forget
do the
that
Alpha
match
Academy shit, you know.
I'll still never forget that match on Collision. The fastest match on Collision is him versus Samoa Joe.
Whooped his ass, bro, without any hesitation.
I don't even think Joe really he just did his entrance. I think it was like Serpentico charged at him, and then Samoa Joe did the Samoa Joe move, and he just immediately put him in the Coquina clutch. Like, I remember they hyped up that episode of Collision. It was like Samoa Joe in action, and it was like he was barely in action. It was like a walk in the park for him. Like, that's all it was.
I love Samoa Joe, bro.
I love watching Serpentico lose. I think he's the only AEW wrestler right now that has like over 100 career losses. Like, that's not good.
This nigga a loser, dog. He's at the bottom, right where he fucking belongs.
Yeah, he can't even beat on Dog too. When Dog was still a thing, he didn't even beat the enhancement talent that they brought in. He lost to them sometimes too. Like, that's how bad it was. I think he lost to I don't even remember who he lost to. He lost to someone. Oh, I think he lost to Zach Clayton or something like that. Like, that's how bad it was. Like, now, because obviously John Cruz and him are the same people, are we going to count anytime John Cruz loses too, or does it have to be specifically Serpentico?
I don't know. Mostly Serpentico because he's the only one I know who's a fucking loser.
I want a match between John Cruz and Serpentico, but I know that can't happen because John Cruz is Serpentico. So, but yeah, that's the end of this episode of Spoke. I don't know how. Yeah, that's all the stuff I had written down. We did this in like an hour. I don't know why we can't we did it in an hour. I mean, but that's just everything we had to talk. Unless there's anything you want to talk about that's been going on in AEW lately that we didn't cover here.
I don't even know what's going on with AEW right now. Well, I keep up with them, but it's just like, bro, fucking, it's just dumb shit. Like, there's legit nothing going on with AEW currently, bro. We only did this episode for like a good an hour and 37. Damn, and we covered a whole month.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we should do this monthly. Make it easier.
I wouldn't mind that.
You wouldn't mind it?
I wouldn't mind that, no. Yeah. I mean,
because like there's really no shit going on other than just them being stupid at times.
Yeah, we could do it monthly if you want, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess we gotta. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Spoke. Yeah. You know, obviously, I don't know what's gonna happen then if we're gonna come back to our weekly schedule, or if we're going to just do this monthly. If we do it monthly, the next episode will be Revolution predictions. But if we don't do it monthly, you'll just see this video at some point next week and everything like that. So
how the fuck did we get? How the fuck we covered a whole month in like less than 2 hours? That's fucking crazy.
I don't know.
Holy shit! God damn.
And then you have to go out to WWE Aftershock, and that's like 2
y'all
hours.
y'all niggas killing me.
Hey, you have a lot of...
But at least y'all enjoy it, though.
Yeah. But yeah, let us know what you want to see. But we have some other stuff coming up. WWE Aftershock will still be a thing. We're hoping next week we can finally start the GM mode. It's going to be a triple threat version of GM mode, something different for GM mode. Unless we find a fourth person, then it's not different. It's going to be Michael X versus me versus Xero in GM mode, which is going to be very exciting. Next episode, obviously, I don't know what channel that'll go on, but the first episode, we're going to draft our rosters. The next episode after that, we'll book our show. And then the next episode after that, we're going to keep it going for a while. The thing that sucks about this is by the time you see that, some of these videos, WWE 2K24 will be out, but we decided we'd just still kind of continue with it anyways, since, it will still be relevant and everything like that. But, yeah. And give the WWE Aftershock episode, the Royal Rumble coverage episode, more love. I don't know how that happened, but somehow we got like a lot of views on that. Sometimes it just happens. I didn't even share it anywhere or anything like that too, and I just got the views, so I don't know what happened. But yeah, anything you want to plug or promote? I'm not used to having someone else have to plug something, because usually the people I do shows with, this is all they do is just the videos with me. But you actually have shit going on and everything like that.
Yeah, I'm actually doing shit, surprisingly. My fucking defense on Fire Pro and on 2K and all that other shit. And I'm currently just bullshitting and getting shit ready for the next few weeks of tapings. So yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, that's basically it for real.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it, guys. And since we're recording this in the past, we will talk to you guys in the future.
Yeah, fuck off.